Now from the other side of the aisle, we bring in Republican Florida Representative Ileana Ros-Lehtinen. Good to see you, Representative.
Thank you so much.
What is your reaction to the point that was made, you can't do more of the same?
Well, the more of the same is all of the countries except the United States have been wheeling and dealing and traveling without restriction to Cuba for over 60 years. Have all of those countries, 190 countries, brought any change to Cuba? So the same question applies to all of those. The reality is this, that the Cuban people are no freer today than they were on December 17th when the president made this announcement that he's going to open up an embassy. By the way, it's the same building. He's just going to call it an embassy. We're not going to give him one penny for that embassy, and we're going to have an ambassador. By the way, it's the same U.S. interest section, Chief. We're not going to confirm that ambassador. Why? Because U.S. still harbors U.S. fugitives from justice, because Castro still has that, because Castro still has not paid U.S. citizens for the billions of dollars of illegally confiscated property that he has under his possession. The Cuban people have no rights, and this agreement is just another concession to the Castro brothers. We're giving concessions to Iran. We're giving concessions to Castro. President Obama doesn't know how to make any kind of a deal. We have gotten nothing in return, and the Castro regime gets a lot of legitimacy that they have not earned.
Representative, will stay focused on Cuba, though. The administration saying, as you know, they're keeping a very keen eye on human rights, which you were just making a point of.
That was a good one. Listen, human rights, how many people were arrested just 3 days ago? Over 100 dissidents, opposition leaders have been arrested. More repression in Cuba since the announcement. And what has happened to the Cuban people? They are literally dying to come to the United States since this announcement. They wash up on our shores. Just yesterday, a Cuban ball player, apparently he didn't get the memo about the workers' paradise that will now be Cuba because of this embassy. He just defected in North Carolina just yesterday. The Cuban people say they've had enough of the Castro regime, and what do? We give rewards to the regime for punishing and repressing the people. And one more
Representative,
point.
very quickly here, because we do have to go. The embassy, is it a foregone conclusion? Because even though, for instance, it has been said that the ambassador, if there were to be one named, will not make it out of Congress, out of the Senate specifically, that the embassy doesn't need one in order to function. So is this just a foregone conclusion here?
No, it's just the same thing. I can call my house an embassy if I want to. They'll put a shingle on the same U.S. intersection and call it an embassy. And by the way, what will the Cubans do with their embassy? They will have an embassy in Washington. Cuba has one of the most sophisticated espionage operations, and they will be targeting U.S. officials, and you can bet that they're going to use that opportunity to try to do damage to our national security. This is a bad deal all around, doesn't benefit the U.S., and it brings no help to the Cuban people.
Are you planning to turn your house into an embassy, I guess might be the next question, but we won't go there. Representative Ros-Lehtinen, thank you so much and have a good day.
All right, thank you, too. Happy 4th.
All right, you bet.